Hi, everyone. We continue learning Neurographica with the use of essential oils. Today is our third lesson. We're doing it every week on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. At least for now, that's the schedule. Um, I think it's a great idea to kind of combine these two beautiful essential methods for well being. From one side, the beauty is about getting help of essential oils in our everyday life. That's number one. And people who using essential oils, specifically doTERRA essential oils, they're getting incredible benefits. I do personally use those oils every day for various reasons, for sleep aid, for antiseptic like On Guard oil. I'm using lavender for sleep aid. I'm using the mixture of oils for diffusion. So I think the idea of combining these two methods is really fantastic. And I have to extend my special thanks to people who invited me to teach this series of lessons. Ina Colton, she's here with us, and also Natalie Harris. I really appreciate everyone for inviting me, and I hope everyone will get benefits this way or another. All right, so today's topic, oh, people still joining, guys. Let me admit those people. Today's topic, two really beautiful essential oils that I've just ordered myself. Thanks to Ina, she actually pointed out that today is a very special deal online through doTERRA, where you can purchase amazingly, like smelling like heaven oil, citrus bloom, and whoever is purchasing citrus bloom are getting uh, um, additional bonus, pink pepper, which is fantastic. And we're going to be talking more about these two oils. Um, I don't have them, so I can't show you. But what I have is the flyers from doTERRA. I'm going to actually share my screen just to show you. Just give me 1 second. Just to show you, first of all, citrus bloom, to get you familiar with the soil. I hope you can see it. Citrus bloom, all the benefits. It supports and energizes the healthy frame of mind. That's exactly what we need right now, guys, in this difficult time. And it promotes the positive outlook, reduces anxiety and stress and tension, right? It's fantastic. That's what we need right now. Everyone is just, oh my God, what's going to happen next? We're all going through the difficult times. So citrus bloom not only doing that, not only calms us down, not only brings peace and tranquility to our existence. It also smells like heaven. Look what oils are blended together here in order to create this amazing, unique smell. Wild orange, grapefruit, lavender, Roman chamomile, magnolia. Oh my God. Each one of them, like I've got each one of them separate, but blending them together, it creates a heavenly beautiful oil that smells like heaven and also aids us in our current time of uncertainty, anxiety, and tension, right? And the beauty is that it is available right now for doTERRA, and whoever buys this oil will get um, a, a bonus. And let me just show you the bonus that you're gonna get if you're gonna get this oil. Just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna share my screen quickly because it was saved in my drive because today I was kind of researching it specifically for our class. Right here. Let me just open up so we could look at the pink pepper. And that's what we're getting today. If we're ordering today, we're getting pink pepper as a bonus for purchasing citrus bloom. And what fascinates me with pink pepper, because it really works on something very important for us. We as people tend to compare ourselves to other people. We're looking around, we're looking at the Hollywood superstars, we're looking at singers, we're looking at neighbors, we're looking at beautiful houses that some other people have, and we have smaller houses. We're looking at other people's children. They go to Harvard, they go to somewhere else, and maybe our children go to community colleges and be like, oh, well, life is not fair. Some people really think that way. And what does it do to us? Unfortunately, it lowers down our immune system, our defense mechanisms, and also kind of programming us into self-destruction. So if we're saying, I'm not good enough, my neighbor is really good, he's got beautiful house, his daughter goes to Harvard and they making $1 million a year, and I'm only making, let's say, 50K a year. So I am a loser comparing to them. And that's exactly what goes on in this society that promotes competition all the time. All the stress comes from the competition. We've been conditioned to compete at work. We've been conditioned to compete even in our household. And we see this a lot when husband competes with his wife or other way around. And what pink pepper does, it actually works on these comparisons issues. So I think it's very important to look into that right now and recognize the fact that we need to stop this comparison um, war on ourselves. We really need to start appreciating things that happening to us, and really, with the help of essential oils and with Neurographica, start reprogramming our brain, rewiring our brain for abundance. Um, why I'm saying that? Because I'm also running 12 months program, Rewired for Abundance, on top of Neurographica level 1 and level 2. So can you please mute yourself, whoever just joined? Please mute yourself. So that's why I'm basically bringing it up right now, that we really need to stop comparing ourselves to anybody. If we here in our present form, in our body, uh, doesn't matter if this body looks super slim or this body looks chubby, it doesn't matter. We're all lucky to be here on earth to do the things that we've been intended to do and be thankful for everything that we have. Everything starts with gratitude, not comparison. Gratitude, saying gratitude every morning for what we have. And pink pepper is an amazing oil that would help us out to do that. It would actually bring us to that sense, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. So if citrus bloom reduces this tension and anxiety, calms our senses, then pink pepper comes into play and basically it helps us to understand that we are good as we are. There are always ways for improvement, for transformation, but it shouldn't come from comparison with others. It should be something that lives inside of our soul that calls us for transformation, for raising our vibrations, for kind of blooming inside our heart, opening our senses towards the greatest goodness, towards God, if you believe, right? Or universal power, or the nature, however you may call it. The intention is to raise our vibrations towards that, not this um, sense of competition and constant comparison in a negative way with other people. So that is about the oils that I'd like to kind of like wrap up right now. So we covered citrus bloom, we covered pink pepper. They're available right now through doTERRA. And please, guys, just knock on the doors to people who invited you if you would like to purchase it. I believe citrus bloom is like $25 or something, plus shipping for 15 milliliters. It's really nothing for this kind of oil. It's just the price is like absolutely amazing. And then you're gonna get pink pepper as doTERRA's thank you for getting citrus bloom. All right. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. So we've got quite a people here. Um, so again, guys, if you're interested in oils, please just knock on the doors. Whoever is watching right now, whoever is watching and recording, knock on the doors of people who invited you to this event. And I myself also, I'm a distributor of doTERRA. We have Ina Colton here. I've got my colleagues, other colleagues, and some people coming from Natalie. Whoever invited you guys, please knock on the door to these people. All right, so what I'd like to do now, I'd like to transfer to my drawing board, and we're gonna start drawing. We're gonna start drawing in tune with the oils that we talked about, okay? We're gonna see how we can stop comparing through Neurographica. Isn't that amazing? It's so easy. You don't have to go to psychiatrists. You don't have to go to some gurus to learn how you can deal with your own personal issues and self-doubt. Am I good enough? Why my neighbor is better than me? Why my family member, my sister, my brother, my mother, whoever it is, better than me? We can all do this for simple drawing. And that's the beauty of Neurographic. All right. So let's switch to the drawing board and we'll talk more. All right, guys. So we're right here. I'm specifically working for the small scale because I want to complete everything over this course of 1 hour, maybe a little bit more than 1 hour, but this size is about for this. If you really want to extend kind of like and work for a couple of hours on the large scale, you can certainly get an album, and I'm trying to bring it up to you so you could take a look at supplies, because I getting a lot of questions about supplies. What should I get? What kind of paper? What kind of markers? Look at this. Beautiful, really. Very thick paper, really suitable for Neurographica. Um, it's mixed media paper. I love Startmore, really, really. Strathmore, they amazing, and they have small size mixed media. This one is 9 inches by 12 inches. So you can get that, or you can get smaller size. Another thing that you can get for everyone is also saying you've got beautiful color pencils. All right, so Prismacolor, guys. Prismacolor is a beautiful brand. Expensive though. Maybe you don't want to start with Prismacolor. First, try to use some cheaper brands so you could actually compare Prismacolor later with that. And I know, like, I've got mine for Groupon for $20, but they usually like around $50. 72 pencils. All right. And as of markers, I'm using either Sharpies of various thickness, right? And um, I use strokes, very cheap markers. I'm not spending any more on expensive markers. Doesn't make sense to me. I really prefer to work with the cheap ones because they go fast and there is no need to invest into expensive unless you want to do um, some artwork and something really beautiful, then you can experiment with multimedia, okay? But for the regular drawing, for our purpose, you don't need to use anything expensive. What is important is paper. You really need to get good quality paper in order to get good quality drawing. Otherwise, it's not gonna look as good as you desire. So for our class today, Uh, first of all, I just want to show you my work, some of my work that I've done. I'm doing it every time. This is Green Tara. It is a neuro art. It's not Neurographica. The difference is that there is no psychological meaning behind this drawing. Um, my camera is losing focus here. Um, it's just a neuro art, but I'd like to share some of my work every time I start class. So you could see that, you can actually do artwork, not only psychological neurographica. And believe me, this type of work brings a lot of positive vibrations, beauty, calmness, being centered, right? It's all beautiful. By the way, guys, we have chat here in Zoom. If somebody wants to ask questions, you can start writing your questions in the chat. It's below the screen, and then we can look through your questions at the end. Okay, and let me show another work of art. Ganesha. Ganesha. It's an Indian god. I'm a huge yoga fan, and I love drawing in the yoga style all these deities. Um, it's just, really, really brings my vibrations up. You can do all kind of artwork with Neurographica if you wish. You can do whatever you get inspired by, right? Any gods or flowers or fruits, or you go outside and you can draw landscapes, whatever you want. Neurographic allows you to develop your artistic taste. But for these classes, I really want to focus mostly on psychological aspect as well as the aesthetic aspect, right? Because we're dealing with essential oils, and I don't want to isolate essential oils from the Neurographica here. I want to marry them actually. And we started talking about self-worth, and we talked about self-esteem and how we should stop comparing ourselves with other people. That's exactly what we're going to be working on today. All right. Here's what I want you to do for once who's going to draw with me. And I know a lot, I see my students here, and I see some of my students from my Rewired for Abundance program, which is always a pleasure to see that they're coming to my classes, my free classes as well. What we can do, we can select a marker of your choice. It could be anything, right? Nothing can, we really try not to superimpose our choices on you. If let's say if I'm using blue, I'm using blue. If I'm using brown, I'm using brown. So please just choose whatever you'd like to choose, any color, okay? And let's just focus on the aspect of how we see ourselves today, okay? And that can be represented as a circle. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm purposely taking dark marker, and I suggest you please don't pick anything light like yellow or something that you will not be able to see. It has to be dark, like maybe red or dark blue or dark green, something like that, or dark lilac, something that is very visible to you. So that's how I represented myself here. And for you, it's very important to draw the circle the way you feel about yourself, okay? Um, Here's how you can diagnose a certain thing when you asking, let's say, if you would want to work with your family member and ask your family member, can you draw a circle representing yourself? Specifically with women, it's very common. And then I'm asking them to draw a circle that would signify their husband or their lover or boyfriend, whoever it is. And look what I'm having at this time. So a woman would draw herself just like that, and her husband like this, or boyfriend or significant other. Or kids. I would ask, can you draw your kids? Oh, sure. And kids just even go beyond of anything. Where is she here? Why is she so small? A lot of women have this feeling, oh, family first. I'm small. All I do is for my man, my kids, my parents, maybe, whoever, but not herself. Look how small she is comparing to other people. Most of my clients, females, although I do have male clients coming to me from various countries, extremely talented, extremely attuned to the artwork they do. And they kind of go through similar issues that I'm actually illustrating here, seeing themselves smaller than others. So it's not females only, don't take me wrong. For any guys who's looking at this drawing and watching my lessons, but for women, it's just very common. Okay, very, very common. So I drew myself just like that. Okay, and what can I say here? What qualities I possess at this particular moment? Okay, and I only want to focus on positive qualities. Sometimes women look in the mirror and they're like, oh my God, I gained another 10 pounds. I look fat. Or they would say another wrinkle on my face. I don't get into my dress. I don't look attractive anymore. Or she goes to work and her boss may say something nasty to her, and then she cries. She feels offended, but then she's kind of like, okay, it's life. Mm? So a lot of us dealing with this kind of situations with some form of abuse, right? It could be, we don't even see it like abuse if somebody says something very unpleasant to us, or if somebody is not valuing us. That builds up our self-doubt, and it lowers our vibration. So what we need to do right now, we need to recognize what positive qualities we already have, okay? And when I think about myself and you work on yourself, think about what positive qualities you have. So I can tell about myself. Um, I've got a pretty good education, and look what I'm doing. I'm drawing a circle that crosses me. Your circle may be somewhere here or there. It really depends on how you feel. My first impulse to put it right here. You really need to go with your impulses. Wherever you feel like putting or drawing a figure, that's where you're supposed to go. Don't copy what I'm doing. Go with your impulses, with your heart. Okay? So I would say it's me. I'm going to put my initial and my education is my quality, because I have a lot of education and in various fields, not just regular education in college and going through a couple of colleges. I've been educated in a lot of practices. Neurographic is one of them. Um, 3 years of education in Neurographica. I'm an instructor, but on top of this, I've got 17 years of education working with world-known teachers in various alternative practices as Qigong and yoga and Kabbalah, and some other ones that I just can't mention all of them. But for 17 years, I've been in a deep practice of self-improvement, of self-transformation. Okay, and that's what I'm going to add. My spiritual practice. My spiritual practice really brings me a quality that I need in order to teach, and not just to teach Neurographica as a method, but also bring awareness and help people to rewire themselves from negative state to positive state, from which they can create their bright future. Okay, so I'm going to put work, spiritual work that I do. That's my quality. So I've got very good education. I've got spiritual work that I'm doing in the world. Okay, I'm a good communicator. And it doesn't have to be a circle. We're going to be adding some other figures. Um, for that would be communicator. I can communicate my knowledge. I know that in both languages that I speak, in Russian and English. I wish I learned some other languages, but not at this point. What else? I'm stable. I've got enough stability in order to bring other people up to this level. I'm balanced. And look what I'm doing. Remember from the first class? And actually in the event, I've got both first class and the second class videos included. I've included links to my YouTube channel. You can watch my first class and second class to learn how we deal with figures. So with squares, we really need to make sure everything is rounded from inside. There are no sharp corners. See that? We don't like sharp corners. So that would be stability. I'm mobile, right? I'm a quick learner. I'm mobile in all senses possible. It's very easy for me just to get up and go to another place. So easy for me to jump on new learning curve. Very mobile. And if we represent action, then what we usually do, we draw triangles. If it comes to action, mobility, travel, jumping on something new, it's all about action. Okay, action, and that would be mobility. And I am a community builder. I like to build communities, sometimes successful, sometimes not so successful, but in a lot of ways, it helps me out to bring people together for spiritual practice, for learning Neurographica, for any other things, and maybe bringing other teachers that help people out to raise their vibrations. That's my mission in life. And I've been told this so many times by my teacher, by my friends, by everyone around, that my mission is to teach, build the communities, and help people to rewire their brains for abundance. And Neurographic is perfect for this. It's almost like bingo, right? I've got Neurographic exactly for my purpose. And that's what I have, really, really great marriage between these two. So you really need to think about your qualities and kind of like help yourself to surround yourself with those qualities. Don't think anything negative. A lot of us have that devil's talk, right? Where we, no, not really, doubting. No doubts here. Put everything that you absolutely sure in, that you're good at. Okay. So that's our first step. And the next step, we just need to round everything together. Remember rounding from lesson 1 and 2? In Neurographica, we're creating neurographic pattern where all components of the drawing must be rounded in order to create neurographic pattern. That's what we're doing right now. It is the next level of integration of all the components that we have on paper. It is the next level. That's what we need to think about. Like every time we work with Neurographica, every step we do, we kind of like, we're climbing the ladder. We laid out the composition, that's composition, but now the next level to integrate every component. And that would be the next level of integration. And you pay attention how I work with sharp corners. Watch my lesson number 1. I talk a lot about this. Okay, that's why I'm including my lessons into my invites, so you guys can get familiar with that. Look, it's already getting kind of pretty, right? Even on a small scale like this, it looks pretty. Imagine on a larger scale. I have to say, the larger scale you go with, the better results you're going to get. Why? Because you're going to be drawing a lot of neurographic lines, and they're like life currents. They go through the whole drawing. And those life currents, they create brand new neurological connections in our brain from mind-body connection. I've talked about this lesson 1, lesson 2, guys. Catch up if you've missed that. But that's the goal. That's the goal, to reprogram us from our current state with whatever we have right now negative to the future state where we see ourselves, the best version of ourselves. That's the goal. Okay. And the pink pepper is going to help us out together with citrus bloom, right? Just imagine keeping these 2 oils together next to you. They will definitely assist in this. So we're combining modalities in order to get the best possible results. Okay. So by now you should already have your best version right now, collecting all your qualities that you gain over the course of your life. You know, some students come to me and they say, I have nothing, absolutely nothing to add here because I think I'm a loser. I think I don't offer anything good in life. I think I'm not going to be capable of doing anything. And then I ask them to think. What I ask them to do, just get up, walk around, try to straighten your body, make sure your shoulders are straight, and just scan your past and see what good things you've done in life. And then all of a sudden I started to hear, oh, I helped my neighbor in need. I helped children, you know, when my friends needed babysitter, I helped to babysit with kids. I helped my community during difficult times. I've done cookout parties for people. I did some fundraising. Oh my God, I hear so many stories, guys. We just forget about it. We focus on negative instead of focusing on positive. That's our problem. But the whole idea of Neurographic and essential oils to kind of invoke positive. What about positive memories? What have we done beautiful in the past? That's what we need to focus on, not on the negative. Okay. And that's what we're doing here. So let's just round everything that we have. All right, we got it. So now I want you to concentrate on the fact how you would like to see in your future. Doesn't matter. I don't care how old you are. I've got 84 years old student who is in my every program that I ever offered. Her name is Peggy. Um, she is my every program. She went from level one, she got through level two, she became a specialist. She's running her Neuro Abundance community on Facebook, teaching, spreading the knowledge of Neurographica. She's the student of my 12 months program, Rewired for Abundance. She attends every program. She's not in her best health. Still, she's determined and she's getting amazing results. Amazing. She's 84. So whoever is telling me I'm 60, I'm 70, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it because I know that with neuroplasticity, it was proven that you can reprogram yourself at any age. At any age. You don't need to say that I'm done in my development. It was the old belief saying that we complete our development by the age of 35, and then whatever happens to us is just a very small variations from whatever we learn. Not anymore. Why? Because neuroplasticity and neurogenesis introduced the fact that we can generate new neurological connections, new neurons, and guess what? The neurons that fire together, that get invoked, fire together. Okay? And if you invoke positive, you're firing positive neurons that will be wiring together in order to create the future that you always wanted. Never too late. Never too late. All right. Um, Peggy's 84. Hopefully, I'm going to get some people even older. Then I'll be extremely proud uh, that things are really proven that it doesn't matter how old you are. Really doesn't. Doesn't matter what country you live in. Doesn't matter if you poor or you are rich, or it doesn't matter. Circumstances don't matter here. What matters is your determination for transformation and your recognition of the qualities that you already have. So now let's think about what is ideal self looks like. Let's say, how do I want to see myself in the future? I certainly want to see myself much bigger than I am now. You see that? I encourage you, if you drew a circle or however you represented yourself, make sure that on the right side, you really look bigger. Your figure looks bigger. You really need to expand. And you really need to feel in your heart chakra, like in your heart center, the expansion when you're doing it. Okay? And what we try to do here in Neurographica is to make figures as close to the ideal forms as possible. Okay, so if you see that your circle is not so rounded, correct it. It's never going to be 100% perfect. It's always going to have something not perfect. And that's the idea. We don't want everything to be perfect. Imperfections actually is the driver for our growth. When everything is perfect, there is no space for growth. I'm done, basically. But in Neurographica, that's the beauty of this method. We will never get to the perfect state. We need to strive to get to perfection, but we will never get there. Okay, never. And that's the beauty. So that's me, my future state, where I'm much bigger than I am now. And just remember, left is your uh, past, that includes your present state as well, and the right is your future. Okay. And just remember that the edges of your paper, they really just kind of like a visual representation of your drawing, but everything else goes, like the drawing itself goes beyond. You can add paper from any side and continue to infinity and beyond. So those are not the end of your drawing. They just visually kind of giving us the way of representing our drawing, because we need to end somewhere, right? But once we're going to start drawing lines, we can just visualize them going into the quantum realm. Okay. So that's me. What do I want here? I want to grow my community. Ooh, I love that. You know, for me, community means a lot. And when I say community, who's that community? Uh, it's a group of like-minded people, people who are striving for development, people who are ready to do some actions, okay, for themselves. That's what community is all about, okay? Community. I want to continue my education, whatever it is. Maybe I'm going to learn something else. Who knows? I don't know. Education, continue. Okay. I want to um, grow my financial situation as well, to get more abundant financially. And that would be my foundation. That would help me out to invest and reinvest for my education, for community building, for my upstate community building that I've started last summer. Okay. Um, so that would be my financial abundance. Okay. What else do I want here? I want to travel more. Of course, who doesn't? Right now, we're all stuck, but hopefully, at some point, we're going to be all travel. Okay. And I just want my family and my close people to be happy, healthy, and abundant from all perspectives. All right? That's my future state. And now I need to again ground it exactly in the same way as we did on the left side. And you can add as many as you want. You don't just select things that most important. You can add anything here. Maybe you want new house. Maybe you want a beautiful relationship. Maybe you thinking about your business or expansion of your business. Just add anything that helps you out to emphasize your future state. So for me, whatever I have here, I just want to kind of blow, get more of this. And for me, it is also um, serving the community. It's very important for me, but as well as building myself and continue my self-transformation. So that's what you need to focus. Think about not only about yourself here, because we live in times when we need to think about the others, our neighbors, and people in need. Very important. However, you can help through donations, through community work, please consider that, because we know what goes on in the world, and united we stand, right? When we have a sense of community. Okay. just like that. So here's my past state, here's my future state. Now, I really want to, there are two ways we can work for this. We can start compiling this whole drawing by drawing neurographic lines from our present state to our future state. That's number one. Guys, I'm just talking conceptually right now for you to experiment, okay? We can draw from left to the right in order to kind of like, oh, bring me there. Just bring me to that future state. Give me energy to get there. Whatever I need to get there. Or you can empower yourself seeing your future state. You can draw from the right side going to the left. And if you change the direction, you basically going to feed yourself with the vibrations of the future. You would empower your current state. If you would draw from left to the right, you basically driving. It's like a driving force towards your future. If you're driving backwards, if you're saying, "I love my future, I love my future, but how can I help myself today to get here?" Then you draw your lines from right side to the left. I hope it's clear. If it's not clear, you guys stick with me. We're going to be going through more lessons. But for now, just try, see what works for you the best. I'm going to be doing classical from left to the right. You could try, like I have my experienced neurographers here who can try from the right side to the left. Feed yourself with the vibrations of the future. You guys know what I'm talking about, my students who are here. Um, but how are we going to connect this, right? For neurographic lines, right? And let's remember, neurographic line never forms any pattern, and it goes where we don't really know where it's going to go. We're only looking at the tip of the marker, and wherever the line is going to end, that's where it's going to end. But we're doing it with the control. It's not like you're letting the line just slip through. You really drawing it. You're going to the left, to the right. You're making sure you don't see any patterns. And some people telling me, I hate it. I hate it. Um, I hate to draw lines just like that. They're not pretty. They're not pretty because our brain is really conditioned to like patterns, to like something predictable. Okay. Um, but that's exactly what Neurographica is all about. Neurographica is about getting out of the comfort zone because the development doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It doesn't. I'm sorry. You really need to get out from your comfort zone and create something totally uncomfortable for yourself.
Can I ask one question, please?
Yes, Ina.
Business would be square, triangle, or circle.
What is this for you? Give me the first thing that comes to your mind. How do you see it?
Stability, I think it's a square to
That's
me.
what you need to do. However you see it for yourself, that's what you need to use.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So you see, like I'm combining a little bit. I'm going through the right side and through the left side. I can totally do it totally from the left. But in Neurographica, we'll really like whatever I just told to Ina, right? Ina asked me like, how should I use square? Should I use triangle? Should I use circle? Guys, it's totally up to you. What is your first impulse? Ask yourself, how do I see my business? Square. That's it. Use square. Some people see it as a circle. Some people see it as a triangle. Why? Because for some people, their business relates to traveling. Okay. And they like, I travel a lot. Then for me, it's a triangle. So go with this impulse. And really, Neurographica cannot be understood without drawing. It's not intellectual method. It is intellectual when you experiment with this. Then your intellect gets involved, right? On the mental level, your emotional intellect gets involved. Your physical body gets involved into this, right? But you need to experience it. Theoretically, it's not going to help you with anything unless you're going to start drawing. So I've got my lines. Now, guess what? We need to round everything, guys. We need to round. I guess I'm going to go a little bit over 1 hour because I talked a lot. Can't help myself, but I have to. I have to. I just feel like whatever knowledge I hold, it's time to share completely with people and raise the awareness of how easy you can actually change your state without going to gurus and professionals. You become your own professional, unless you really need the help of somebody. But if you can deal yourself, why not to do that? You see, we already see this beautiful bubble-like circles. I love Neurographica for this because right there, it's so cute. It's beautiful. It's not only psychological work that we're doing here. We do a lot of aesthetic work here. It's beautiful. And we know that beauty is one of the most important aspects. What I'm doing right now, people who follow me on Facebook, all I'm posting right now are the flowers. I just walk around my neighborhood and I'm so lucky I live by the ocean, just 1 block away. I walk around my neighborhood. I've got beautiful houses with beautiful gardens and I take pictures. I do what Japanese call forest bathing. I'm not in the forest, but it is forest like neighborhood where I live in. And all I do is just taking pictures of those flowers and sharing them with my friends on Facebook. So I believe beauty will really help us out to survive in this world of uncertainty, raise our vibrations together with essential oils. No wonder I love essential oils because I love flowers, all kinds of flowers. And I constantly post my own flowers that I have, my orchids and all other ones. So while you rounding, make sure you're breathing because a lot of people stop breathing during the rounding process. They like, they take the breath and they hold it and the shoulders go up. So if you notice that, you really need to either get up and walk a little bit, drink some water. Like I always have my juice, I have orange juice next to me. Um, you really need to let yourself enjoy the process. You are doing it for yourself. It is yourself healing process. When you work on your own, you can put some meditative music. Um, you can just totally relax, and essential oils will help you, like the ones that we talked about today, citrus bloom and pink pepper. That those ones really you should consider. And I actually ordered them today. You know, thank you for reminding me about this. So we continue rounding and constantly noticing what's going on in our body, how we feel. Do we feel discomfort anywhere in the body? Do we have any mental discomfort? Emotional. Some people, you know, it's so funny sometimes um, in the class, somebody would all of the sudden just start crying because they're, it's not funny, but I mean, it's pleasant, really pleasant to see how um, all of a sudden somebody will start crying and saying, oh my God, I have so much love in me. For me, it's like, it really makes me so happy. I start smiling and laughing when I see this in a good way. People open up, our hearts open up during this practice. But if you feel right now frustrated with this whole thing, or you feel like, oh my God, it's just so much to do here. I need to do my rounding. It's a lot of work. You know, beginners usually feel this way. When you just start drawing Neurographica, beginners usually experience that kind of feeling. But if you're gonna dedicate time learning Neurographica and draw like really often, not just from time to time, then you would start feeling the shift. Then you wouldn't even care how much of rounding needs to be done, how many lines you have. Basically, the major rule is the quality of neurographic drawing is defined by the quantity of the lines. I will repeat it. The quality of neurographic drawing is defined by the quantity of the lines. The more lines you have, number wise, the better your work is going to be. Why? Because you're going to have a lot of crossings to round, because you would create new neurons for this process and you will wire them together for rounding. That's why it's better, right? So if you think this way and you understand why you need to do this work, then all of a sudden you're not so frustrated with the process. You're like, oh, okay, I'm helping my brain to rewire in a positive way. Then I'm ready to do anything, whatever it takes to do this. You can always add lines. Just remember, if you don't have enough of them, like I feel like I need to add a couple of lines here. And you don't have to round 100%, 80% would be good enough to round, but it has to look pretty rounded and integrated. Some people telling me, unless I round 100%, I can't really go with this work. Up to you. In this particular algorithm, you can do whatever you want. You can stop at 80%, or you can totally round. Like I'm a little bit freakish about this. I have to also round everything possible. I may miss sometimes something, but not on purpose. Not on purpose for sure. Make sure you don't have any sticking angles from your triangles and your um, squares. So now we can color it in different ways. We can color it using figures. I think for beginners, you can select any color and start from anywhere you want. I think for beginners, it's always easy to start with coloring just figures. But if you advanced, and I have my advanced students here, what you can do, you see what I'm doing? I'm expanding color. Ina, I'm talking to you too. I know you like to color figures only. Get out, get out and create something else with this. Try to help yourself getting out of your comfort zone. You see what I'm doing? In Neurographica, we know we don't just color anywhere we want. We're using the boundaries of the marker, this kind of segmentation in order to color. And notice wherever I'm using one color, I should use it somewhere else. And we never create mosaic with this. We should really consider coloring several segments together. We just don't color orange here, yellow here, red here, green here. It's not going to work, guys. It's not, definitely not. You really need to consider coloring large segments. Then it's going to look beautiful. You will notice how beautiful it is. Basically, what we're doing, remember how I was saying next level of integration? When I was saying that we need to round things, this one is the next level of integration. We are creating large figures using colors. Guys, we're gonna go beyond like maybe another 15 minutes. If you want to stay with me, stay with me. If you feel like you need to drop off, I totally understand. But the recording is gonna have everything. So, but the concept of coloring large figures just like that brings the next level of integration. I don't know what I'm creating here yet. I'm using my subconscious mind. I have no idea why all of the sudden orange came to me. Why I've chosen green. I have no idea. That's why sometimes I'm telling my students, pick colors blindly. Don't even think too much and do the best you can from whatever you pick. And then I hear, oh my God, I didn't use the right color in the beginning. Now it doesn't look good. Guess what? In Neurographica, it's impossible to spoil anything. You can actually take another color and color on top of the other one, right? If I don't like my orange, I can take red and just color right on top of that. So nothing should really stop us from experimenting, because experiments are really, really bringing amazing results. We need to open up for creativity here. Yes, we can color figures, like however we laid it out, but it's going to be too simple. I'm not saying it's not going to look beautiful. Probably it will look beautiful. But the whole idea is here to open up and see what if I just color it in a different way? What if I just color like segments and see what happens? Try. What we have to lose? And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just coloring. However, subconsciously, I feel I should be coloring. Okay. I like it. I already like it. So if I see somewhere that something is not rounded, I can always round up. I'm trying to find my, I don't know where I put it, right here. So you can always finish up just like that. If you find some corners not being rounded enough, you can always add up. Okay. Already coming up beautiful. And again, you know, we should not be shy about this, because we're drawing for ourselves. You don't even need to show your spouse or your kids. Just do it for yourself. And the more you're going to be practicing, the better results you're going to get. I promise. Why? Because when you experiment, it brings you to your ideal style. When I look at my students' work, I can always say, oh, that's Ina's work, or it's Christina's work, right? Or Irina's work, whoever studying with me. I can tell immediately looking at the style, because through this practice, everyone will develop unique style of drawing. It's like a signature almost. So pretty, right? It doesn't have any tangible image, and we are not after that. The whole Neurographica is about creating abstract drawing. Sometimes we're getting symbols through our work. That's true, but it is a side effect. It's like a bonus. That I want to kind of like color. You can see like I'm coloring the entire figure just like that. You can combine coloring entire figure and kind of coloring using the flow. And here, like outside of this drawing, I can create a shade just like that, like it's shading. You see that? That's totally fine. Totally fine to create shading. And I want to shade here as well. Okay, and we don't have to color the whole thing, guys. That's the beauty of this. We don't really have to. I want to shade a little bit here. But for me, it's very important that you are getting what I'm talking about, the next level of integration. Because the first level was just to lay out composition with the figures, right? The next level is to round them. And then the next level is what? Creating figures using certain color. Every time we're getting closer and closer to the full integration of this drawing, okay? And that is important, because our whole drawing should look pretty much integrated. Otherwise, it's not Neurographica, it's something else. People sometimes submit me some work, and I'm looking at this like, have they attended my class, or where did it come from? It's very hard to say where it's coming from. They just use their imagination, which is totally great, but it's not Neurographica. We really need to learn how to do Neurographica here. Not just some, you know, like some art kind of thing, which is also good. I mean, I'm not against that. It's just I want people to learn the method, not just do whatever they wish. Here we have strict rules of engagement, of how things should be done in a certain way. Integration, rounding, certain style of lines, colors should be done in a certain way. We don't do mosaic here. Mosaic disintegrates everything. We need integration. And you see, like, I just use my imagination. I'm just going through all of this using my imagination and just listening to my inner voice on what needs to be colored in what way. And I don't have to color the whole thing. I don't have to. All I need to do is to um, complete it to the point where I feel satisfied. Just want to do some shading. Okay. You see, it's pretty, right? And what else can we do here? We can rotate it. I always tell people to rotate. Look at that. How interesting. It, when you rotate, you're getting some hints, some, all of the sudden you see certain images like here, all of the sudden I see heart. I didn't see it when it was in this position. It was some kind of like triangle. But then I've rotated it. I see heart. I see some human figures, maybe mother daughter, like small child sitting on uh, mother's arm, or her arm goes here. You see that? Already some symbols starting getting through me. But again, it's just a side effect of this work. If I rotate this way, I'm getting something else here. I'm getting totally different layout. Go here. Again, it's totally different layout, right? You see how interesting? It's so fascinating to see this. And from my work, I see it so often. When I rotate, I find new meaning all the time. And I don't know, like this one really talks to me because I see heart. I see these two human figures so close to each other, almost like some icon, like iconic kind of feeling of maybe Virgin Mary with small Jesus. I don't know. Or it could be just motherly love towards her child. Or today is the Earth Day, right? For anyone who knows that. Tomorrow I'm going to have my class supporting non-for-profit organization, Touch Mother Earth. I'm going to have my class to support and to celebrate the Earth Day. It's like Mother Earth holding us as her children in her warming, loving arms and giving us the love that she has for us, right? That's such a beautiful kind of message that I'm getting. Some people may take a look at this and say, I don't see any of that. I see totally different thing. Like some people say, I see butterflies flying around spring garden. Beautiful, however you see it. You don't really need to go deep inside of the images, and everyone sees reflects, whatever reflection they get from the drawing, from mirror neurons, right? I do have people here who understand and they learn what it is. From mirror neurons, we mirror each other, but we also mirror certain meanings, like in Neurographica, you can mirror the meaning of the drawing through your own experience, and you may see totally different thing that I see. That's why we're not focusing on symbols. We're mostly focusing on the actual work that we have created. So the one thing left here, the field lines that we're going to add. In the field lines, again, I will refer you to lesson number 1 and lesson number 2. Currents, they go through entire work. I'm going to use gold. It's not going to be that visible, but I just feel like using gold. Field lines, usually we do 3, 4, sometimes 5 of them. They're like high voltage currents, they go through the entire drawing. They can cross, or they may just go in parallel, but those currents, they have a high voltage. They really help us out to accomplish things that we laid out on the paper, and kind of like send this universal message to our deities, to the planet, to nature. It's like a sound om, let it be, or amen, right? We're saying amen, let it be. And you can even like create beautiful, like adding additional circles, like circles really beautiful in Neurographica, because they holistic figures, and they always bring peace and love. We don't have to round those currents everywhere, just a little bit, just to kind of incorporate them into neurographic pattern. But you see how pretty it is? How fast we've done. It's 4:10, right? We waited for 5 minutes for people to join, and I've been talking a lot. So in 1 hour, basically, we created our drawing with everything on that. And if something really catches my eye as a last step, I really need to emphasize that. And here I see this figure that really catches my eye, because it is kind of like when I look through this position, I saw that heart here that kind of unites the baby and the mother. So going back to this position, I want to make it thicker. And that's what you need to do as well. If you see something on your drawing that flirts with you, again, the flirting is not my term. The flirting is the term of Arnold Mindell, the creator of process work, process psychology. Um, Flirting meaning whatever draws our attention, something that catches our eye. And here it's that portion. And I really want to make it a little bit thicker because it stands out. And it translates into love, guys. It translates into love. Love to ourselves, to our planet, to us as her children, love to our future state, right? You see how everything now is integrated in one piece? There is no past, there is no future. It's just one beautiful drawing. And that's exactly what we aim for in Neurographica, integration. Integration of every component of the drawing into one beautiful piece. It's like kind of bringing our thinking into multidimensional, something that lays beyond 3D understanding of our life. Here's like we kind of like marrying all the components into the quantum realm. That's what we've done here. And you agreed, it's pretty, right? So I'm gonna open up for questions. You can, let's just not unmute all of you. The first person who wants to ask question, please unmute yourself and ask question. And then when we finish, everyone else can start kind of unmuting and asking. So we have 5 minutes. Any questions, guys? If you want to share with me your work, maybe you want to show what you've been creating. Ina,
If nobody has questions,
let me see what you've done.
yeah, I didn't put the color in yet.
It's fine. It's very, very beautiful. I love it.
Feeling, but my not even question. I would probably think my thoughts.
Yes.
This is original me with
Yes.
my good qualities. This
Yes.
is bigger me. This is a future.
I love it.
This
Yeah.
is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be much bigger, but there's something missing.
What's
Order
missing?
for this me to grow this way, I need to integrate something into the past. Something is missing from the past.
So, Ina, let me tell you that whatever you have on the left, whatever you have on the left side, that's your past, including your current state. So
right. But I think I still need to add some stuff.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
my subconscious. I
yes.
need to add some stuff here in
Yes.
the past for whatever I want to happen in the future. That's what,
You can,
for me.
yes, you can certainly do that if you feel like something is missing, and that's not only
That's,
for you,
yeah,
it's for everyone else. If you feel that something is missing, because look at that, your whole drawing is tinted towards right,
that,
right? That's what happened.
yes, 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 right,
Yes. So yes, so your left side kind of looking
right,
empty.
empty. So in order for me to achieve whatever that I want to achieve, I need to feel, maybe it's in my subconscious, maybe I need to open it, or whatever,
You're
whatever that
totally right.
I need to go back to the past and
Yes,
edit and try to pull it out from my memory, or from just to edit, and maybe it's gonna come to me, or whatever, whatever is
sure.
gonna
Yes,
come.
you can do that, but
Yeah,
please notice, right, the composition wise, Ina's work is kind of tinted towards right. So here's like in her work, it's a little bit empty. Of course, it makes sense to add more details in order to empower yourself.
right.
So, yeah, that makes sense totally looking at your work. Anybody else wants to show me? Christina, maybe you want to show me your work? Let me pin you.
Oh wow, look
Oh,
at
wow. Beautiful. Christina is very
the amazing, it's
experienced.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You've done it. You there, girl. Completely. Beautiful. Anybody else wants to share? Don't be shy. I can give you some advices like, yes, is
That
who's speaking?
everybody's got such a beautiful ones.
I'm sure everyone will get, but not everyone is willing. Oh, who's sharing? Isabella, hold on one second. Let me pin you.
Oh my God, I love
Oh,
it.
look how beautiful it is. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And
Gorgeous.
Isabella, this is your second drawing, I believe, right? She just started.
Hello.
Awesome. Israel, you want to show us your drawing?
Yeah, I just have two quick questions.
Sure.
So I've been drawing on an iPad. Is
Yeah.
is that effective or not? Is
No,
that
it's
okay?
not. Israel, it's not. It's not effective. I tell you why. You're
Uh
losing a
huh.
very, very essential component here of having mind-body connection. Technology is not really helping you doing that.
But
You
I've been drawing with a pencil also.
I know exactly what you're saying. A lot of people coming to me, they drawing on iPad and they're using technology. You missing a lot of work that needs to be done by hand using pencils and markers because technology kind of speeds up the process. You just clicking here, you filling up colors quickly, you're doing this. You can create beautiful art with this if you want to. From artistic perspective, you're not missing anything. But from psychological perspective, that's where you're missing it. Because when you're doing it with pencils on the paper, you're gonna have totally different experience doing that than just using any technology, either iPad or any other one. Try to do it by hand, then compare how you feel doing it on iPad. It's all done through experience. Once you experience, you will know and see the difference. Okay? So in theory, the art
Uh,
is fine to do on iPad. But again, all psychological needs need to be worked through traditional body mind connection um, through the hand, through hand drawing. That's the whole idea of this work. Have I answered your question?
yes. Just another quick question.
Sure.
So I'm actually an artist, so I do draw a lot. Almost every day I do draw. And the question is like when you're talking about the feeling where the lines are and also the colors, especially the colors, uh, it's very hard for me to differentiate between like what I feel and more like what I see automatically in my head as composition like nice and pleasing. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, here's what we're saying in Neurographica. You really need to go with your impulse. I see what you're saying. So you're trying to envision your final result, right? how it's
It's
supposed to be.
it's not just that. When you say impulse, for me, it's not an organic impulse because when I draw, it's a trained impulse to automatically go for what's more pleasing to the eye.
Aha, I see what you mean. All right. Um, it requires some experience. Israel, you're not gonna easily jump into this work just by doing one or two drawings. You need to go through the education first to answer this question, because what we're doing in the beginner's course, we are teaching how to um, dissolve certain emotional states or certain um, conditioning, I would say, right? Like that we like to make everything beautiful. As an artist, let's say, you would like to make it beautiful. So if you go with the impulse, it may not be so pleasant and so beautiful. It requires some more experience. Only through experience you're going to understand what is the best way to do it. I have not been drawing very beautiful in the beginning, to be honest. My work looked a little bit clumsy. It looked kind of like, okay, the colors are not really communicating very well. But what happens is through experience, the more you draw, more you getting immediate impulse what kind of colors you need to use in order to create beautiful art. Okay. um, Try, I've included lesson 1, lesson 2 into my invite. Just see how everything needs to be integrated into the drawing, including colors, and that will help you out to practice, 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 and then it's going to become easy for you to pick the right colors, to create the right composition. It would be easy for you. Like you would look at your drawing, oh, I'm missing figure here, or I'm missing line here, or maybe I should add shading. That you can do as your touch up, okay? But artistic component is just one component. Psychological component is equal component that we need to really work on. We need to find a way through practice to balance artistic and psychological component together. It requires practice. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Somebody was showing me the drawings. Who did? I think Ina, another Ina.
Yeah,
Was show-
thank you, Margarita. It's amazing. I just have a question. Somehow I influentially took future and past in different colors. Is it
Okay.
okay?
Ina, here's what I would tell you. You experienced neurographer. I know that. You're not doing it for the first time. You've
No, no,
been
no.
doing,
It's my
She,
first month.
oh, really?
It's different.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Then let me tell you, you're doing fantastic for the beginner.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Because the way I'm looking at your work, it looks like a work of experienced neurographer.
что?
Thank you.
Hold on,
Okay.
guys. Please mute yourself for people who don't talk. So you use two colors. So in order for you to integrate left to the right, you really need to integrate two colors together. So the blue and green. So when you're gonna do your rounding, you can do first maybe blue and on top to put green. There are different rules in Neurographica how you can integrate multiple colors. Some people integrating with the lighter colors. I don't like this concept. When I'm using multicolored markers, I integrate them. When I round things, I round them using two colors, not one, two. When you get to the point where they're crossing with each other, integrate them green on blue or blue on green. Then you're going to get full integration. Okay? It's totally
Okay, thank
okay.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
I kind of did all lines in a pen and
Yeah.
all these figures in a marker, and then I realized probably I did not do it
No,
correct.
don't worry about this. Don't worry
Okay.
about this. If you've done this way, well, you need to integrate the markers as well in
Okay.
rounding. Round with two colors. Okay?
Yes, thank you very much, Margarita.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're totally
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else wants to share the drawings? Miriam, I see new people here. Irina, I don't know if you've been drawing with me, darling, but Irina is my student. She's also in every program possible with me. Anyways, guys, so we don't have any more questions.
Yes,
Nobody,
Garita, can I show
yes,
you? I already integrated some of the like patience, determination, focus, and
yes,
love.
very
Those
good.
are the things I felt like I needed in my
Yes,
past in
uh-huh.
order to grow into the future.
Yes, and it looks really nice. Let me tell you, composition-wise, you achieved everything. And what I would suggest, maybe add more neurographic lines to incorporate.
No, I didn't finish yet. Yes,
Ah,
I'm
okay.
gonna
All
add.
right. So
Yes.
looks amazing. Looks really, really
Thank,
good.
thank you.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the class. All of you doing fantastic. Some of you beginners already catching up so quickly. I'm pleased to see that. I'm going to be recording, and I'm going to be sending the link for my recording to Ina. You can also find my recording on my YouTube channel where I have my other lessons. I have let me just quickly put Amarna Neuro Art YouTube channel, right? You can search Amarna Neuro Art on YouTube. I have my free classes there. Every class that I do, I post on my YouTube channel. And you can reach me by sending me email at info@rewiredforabundance.com.
Right.
Okay.
So I also wanted to say that whoever would, would want to get to know essential oils more, you can contact the people that invited you here, and they'll be able to tell you where you can get the essential oils. And also another thing that I would like to mention is that uh, please do not buy essential oils from the pharmacy. That's a
Yeah,
very, very important
absolutely.
thing, because it's, essential oils are the thing that you really need to know what you're using. Otherwise, you can bring harm to yourself. So you can't just use any essential oil that you can find in the pharmacy. It's really, really important to know that.
Absolutely. No, it's a good point. Same thing from Amazon. Some people
Right.
were asking me saying, can I buy from Amazon? Guys, please never do that because we don't know what they mix there. We don't trust that. We always buy from source, from doTERRA itself, through your distributors, whoever distributing the product. All right, guys, thank you so much. We almost half an hour over. I apologize for this. So maybe next time I'll do 1.5 hours just to make sure that we are really answering all the questions and completing our works. But you guys all doing super great. For whoever's going to be watching and recording, guys, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can watch my lessons at Amarna Neuro Art YouTube channel. You can write to me at info@rewiredforabundance.com. Look at my website, amarnaneuroart.com, and just stick with me, send me questions, connect with me on Facebook, Margarita Amrita. That's how I am on Facebook. So please just stay in touch. I love to grow our community. I provide level 1, level 2 education Neurographica. If you want to start your professional career, also to become teachers, coaches, don't hesitate reaching out to me for that as well. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you, Margarita. It was an amazing class. Thank you.
Thank you.